Welcome back, this is CerealSnax. Today I'm playing a game called Warhammer 40k Space Marine. If you're familiar with the Warhammer tabletop game with the little figures that you can paint and all that stuff, then you'll probably be very familiar with this game. If not, then maybe it will be familiar if you think of games like StarCraft 2 by Blizzard, who has kind of taken the same kind of theme and kind of copied it from Warhammer. From that tabletop game and made their own game. This is sort of like that, except it's actually from almost like a third-person view, where you are playing a Space Marine fighting against the orcs. In a way, it's like fantasy in a way, because you're fighting orcs and these Eldar that look a lot like elves and that sort of thing. Right now, I've been fighting orcs mostly. I don't know if they have the other races that are common in the Warhammer 40k tabletop game or anything like that, but it's kind of neat because you're playing this third-person Space Marine. You're very powerful. You've got multiple guns. You can see that I've got, well, so far I've got a bolt pistol, a bolter, and a stalker bolter, which is like a sniper rifle. So if you're familiar with first-person shooters, this is very, very familiar. You also have weapons like this chain sword, which is pretty neat. And then you have all kinds of attacks. Now sometimes the game, it's a great game. Sometimes I feel like I'm walking through molasses a little bit. It slows down, I don't know. It's not because of my computer. It's just the way the game is made. But that's not a bad thing. Part of the reason I'm excited about this game is because it was $7 on Steam, which is great. Obviously a cheap game is always a good thing. The whole Warhammer series of games that they have a lot of RTS type games, is heavily discounted on Steam this week. So if you're even remotely interested in games like StarCraft 2 and stuff like that, then you may want to pick up some of the Warhammer versions. They're good games in their own right. Of course, today I'm looking at the Space Hammer Marine version. So far, it's got a nice story. It's got some nice gameplay. You can see I'm shooting these orcs that are kind of at a distance. I'm using the wrong gun, really. I should be using my sniper rifle. Take them out. Great animations. You shoot them and they kind of just explode in a ball of blood, which is always makes you feel nice. It's a game that I've been playing, especially when you're kind of stressed out about everything going on in your real life, your work, whatever. This is a great game because all you do is you just come in here and you just own these orcs. They really don't have much of a chance against you. So far, I've not. I've played it on normal mode. I don't even know if I had an option to do anything but normal mode, but it hasn't been difficult. I haven't died at all or anything like that. So it's not like a game you're gonna play and worry about death all the time and how reloading your game, which for me, for somebody who doesn't have a ton of time to play games, that's a great thing. I just want to get through the story and enjoy the game, and so far it's been really good for that. It got decent reviews when it came out. I think that it was kind of, it didn't get great reviews. It was slightly mixed, but for $7, it's a really quality game, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm just kind of running through the game. The storyline is interesting. It's a little more interesting, I think, than the StarCraft storyline, which obviously is slightly similar. But this storyline seems like a lot deeper, even though they haven't gone into it a lot. It's been very deep and very interesting to kind of understand the battle between the humans and these orcs. And of course, like I said, they're like fantasy orcs, but they're futuristic fantasy orcs, so they're high technology. You can see they've even got these little goblin minions that they have that fight for them. They carry around axes and that sort of thing, and their technology is very kind of brutish looking. It's kind of more crude, which you would expect. So they've done a really good job. And of course, if you're familiar with the Warhammer kind of lore, you can see I'm running like molasses here. And that's not my computer slowing down. It's something with the gameplay. And I think part of it is that I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. It's not lag or anything like that. So it may be something that I've got, maybe my video card, something I've got set wrong. It's like I said, it's not lagging. I can move really quickly around the screen, but my character just feels like he runs really slow sometimes. So that's my only gripe so far. I think beyond that, it's been a pretty good game. So the current mission that I'm on, like as you can tell, I didn't start at the beginning of the game. The game starts out and you're a Space Marine who... The first part that really intrigued me is that there's a codex that these Space Marines must follow, and I'm not very deep on Warhammer lore. So if you're really deep on Warhammer lore, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm not. So the game started out, and there's a codex that you must follow as a Warhammer. You're almost like a paladin, I guess, from a fantasy kind of background, where you have a set of rules that you have to follow as a Space Marine. And as a part of these rules, you're not supposed to just jump out of a ship with your jetpack and fly down to the ground of the planet, which these 3 Space Marines did by my orders of my character. So already you can see that my main character's kind of got a renegade kind of, bent to him. So the story as it stands is that we're on this planet, an industrial planet, obviously critical to this empire's reign or whatever, and the orcs are trying to take it over, and they have control of a big gun. You can see the big gun in the distance there. It's this massive cannon that we're trying to get to, and we're just cutting our way through swaths of orcs. There's what they call I think they're called the, I'm not sure the name of them, I'm not going to mess it up, but it's a group of humans that are guarding this thing, and I think they're called the Imperial Guard, actually. And the Imperial Guard are just like normal humans, and it sounds like, kind of like in StarCraft, the Space Marines are like a high-powered version of regular humans, so they're taller, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they're augmented in some way, either through technology or whatever, drugs, I don't know. So because of that, we're just, basically badasses, just killing everything. And you can see I'm kind of looting my stuff. I'm mostly sticking with this bolter, which is like a rifle. I'm guessing I'll get more weapons as time goes on. I haven't been using my melee weapons. I guess I should be showing that off. You've got a lot of moves that you can do. See how I can do kind of a combo there. And of course I'm doing the combo through molasses, so I apologize. I don't know why it's doing that. Like I said, it's either my system or the game itself just doesn't let you... Because like I said, I can move around fine. I'm not lagging. No video lag. But for some reason my character looks like he's swimming. But anyway, you got all these combos, good melee attacks. This is the chain sword that I picked up. It's pretty neat. Actually, you know what I'll do is next time I encounter some enemies, I'll use it just to show it off, because I think it's pretty cool. You can actually stun your enemies, and then you can actually perform executes on them, which actually heals your character up. So if I do F, I can, oops, F, no, okay, let's get out of this group of orcs here. If I select an orc and I do F and then I do E, he will actually execute him in a very nice way. He sticks the chainsword right through him. You can see the blood kind of splattering. And it heals me up. And now I'm really surrounded by orcs. I'm going to do my combo, and look at that. Blood just going everywhere. So like I said, great game if you're just kind of wanting to just beat up on stuff, because I'm not having a trouble with it. And yeah, now I am. Of course, now I'm talking about the game, so now I'm obviously going to die just because I'm showing it off. And nope, I'm fine. So as you can see, not entirely difficult. Even when I'm kind of not half paying attention, I did fine. So I'm really just in it for the story and for the fact that I can just, cover myself in copious amounts of orc blood. So let's open the door here. So we're just continuing on. So like I was saying, the story's pretty neat. The guys are already commenting on how my character is disobeying the rules, and of course my character is a veteran, so he's saying, well, the rules are meant to be broken, sort of thing. So there's obviously some kind of political drama going on. I was talking about the Imperial Guard. They're the normal humans that are guarding here, and they kind of revere the Space Marines as gods, it seems like, in a way, or they're saviors, kind of like paladins. So, really just an interesting story. You can see the graphics are pretty crisp. I really like what they've done. You can zoom and all that stuff. So I think I'm getting into like a story area here. This is where the gun is. And I think I'm nearing the end of what I really want to talk about with this game. I just wanted to give a quick first impressions of it. I think it's worth the $7. I think if you're looking for a quick game to just play and kind of, just enjoy your time, it's almost like playing a movie. It's relatively easy. So I'd pick it up if I were you, especially if you're interested in sci-fi type bloody action games. It sort of reminds me of some of the old first-person shooters that we used to always play, the Dooms and that sort of thing, with a little storyline. So that's all I have to say about that, and I think that it's worth picking up. So hope that you will join me again soon. You can see I got this cool jetpack. So I'm going to leave you here with me flying around with my cool jetpack. So have a good one, and check back again soon.